Dear Heavenly and precious Father, we thank you for the opportunity to serve the citizens of this county. We just pray that we make the best decision to benefit the most people in this county with whatever may come across this desk. In your holy and precious name we do pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. I'll call this meeting of the Nicholas County Commission on November 18th, 2020 to order. And we do not have the minutes from the previous meeting, so we want to make sure that we do not approve those. Otherwise, if one of you would like to get started.
Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, I move to approve accordingly.
The motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the estates and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, I move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
Okay, the motion is on the floor. I apologize. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from the elected officials and department heads, the Commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
The motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the invoices submitted by the various department offices and commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
The motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Do we want to address the building commission or E911 advisory board? Okay, if nobody has anything else, we will take a break. Okay. All right, we are here now for Richwood Parks for monetary consideration with Miss Marsha Hanna. Marsha, if you'd like to say a few quick things. We've done our homework. Just want to see if you had anything else to add first.
No, I just hope that we get our money.
Understood. Understood. Real quick, while you're waiting for a counterpart, Bill Pugh are you an office holder?
I'm a member of the board.
Just, okay. Bill Pugh is a member of the board of the Nicholas County Veterans Memorial Park. And Bill just wanted to make sure that it kind of help us on their end of things. So Bill, if you want to tell us about that real quick.
Well, I'm not quite sure as to what money they're talking about. This was my understanding that it would be a third of the hotel motel tax.
Well, actually two different things.
Yeah, they are do that, but also where we contribute directly to the Veterans Park, we also directly contribute to their park.
Okay, well, my concern is they're requesting money from back on the hotel motel tax. Is that correct?
I think it was just a total misunderstanding at our last meeting, from what I can gather.
There actually are two issues here.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, I think we need just the issue that Marsha came forward with, which was the
Direct county contribution.
direct county contribution. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is just where we contribute directly to the park out of the county budget,
Okay.
rather than the hotel motel. They're wanting to address that with their park.
So we're not concerned, they're not concerned then with the hotel motel act.
No.
Is that correct?
That's,
Yes, no, sir.
We'll take that up later.
And there was a comment made, we had wanted to double check that their funds didn't end up in one check to your park, but County Clerk Painter's already figured that out, and we are good on that too. So, I mean, we don't have anything against the Veterans Memorial Park at this time on this.
Okay.
So I can leave them with that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for coming in. 'Cause,
Thank you.
Okay.
it's been a clerical wonder. But Clerk Painter and His staff figured it out, let's see, 16 through 20, correct?
Yes.
Yes. The total of all that is gonna be $34,040. And I checked with Kirk Painter, and really we can come from Cole Severance, we can come from General County, it's just kind of whatever the commission decides.
Okay.
That sounds good.
I'll do it to probably General County.
General County.
My question is why nobody ever addressed this in 5 years?
I don't know. No one caught the mistake, I guess. I know that Charlene had presented it to the different administration, but it never followed through. That's our end anyway.
And
And your park board, is that for
I'm on the
all the
Richmond City-
parks in Richwood, or just the ones that were part
The
owner
city
in?
park, yes.
Yeah, and the city park's the one we're part owner in?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, if and when we do this, that would definitely need to be used on just that park. I mean, I'm sure you know that, I just want to
Yes,
more or less
that's
for
what we
public
would use it
record.
for, of course, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I mean, I don't have any problem with it. Bobby checks that the money has never been spent, and so it's not like, you know, we're spending double or anything like that.
Great.
So, you know, spent from the commission to any other entity. Yeah, yeah.
Make the motion that we pay it.
Will you say that number just for
The $34,040,
Okay.
which gets us up to snuff.
Okay, that
Taken care
motion
of.
is on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Legal
Yeah.
counsel, is everything okay? Commissioner, I'm sorry.
No, I just stay out of it.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? The motion does carry.
Okay.
So,
Great,
Thank you.
thank you. So then I can just let Charlene know that you'll be sending a check to her.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
thank you. Go ahead and take another break. All right, we're here now for the, at the request of yours truly, revisit planning of relocating headquarters for Sheriff's Department and to include discussion on deputies' COVID pay, server, and equipment. So Sheriff, I'll just go ahead and let you go first if you'd like.
Sure, touch base first on the server and equipment that we're required to, or not required, but is in great need of update. I think I give you all copies of this maybe once, but I have copies again.
Okay. Thank you.
You can see the quote, the total quote for this for the project is $15,293.47. And in this quote as well is included the equipment that we'll need to update all the stuff here to connect from here to the DRC building, which we currently do not have a link. Our cameras is linked to this building, but the equipment for is our server where we'll download all of our information, reports, upload that stuff is not. So all that is included in here to make that stuff coordinate. So I would ask the commission to approve that so we can move forward with that. Update our server, it's on one of its last legs.
Now Patty has a quote here, and it is for the 16,004. But that was with the better server, right?
The 16,000
481.
quote, yes, that's correct.
Do you have it, Sharon?
I do. Do they have a copy of that one?
Here, they can look at this one.
I
It's
have a
the
copy.
same difference, but just with a higher
Right.
server, right? That's the.
Yes, it's a different company, a little better server with that.
Okay.
And also included in that quote is some ink and stuff like that for a printer that'll coordinate with that.
Which one would you recommend?
The quote, the Insight quote, I would prefer
This one.
that one.
The
It is
$16,041.
$1,000 or so more, but again, it's with a better server. And, you know, I'm a firm believer you get what you pay for.
Especially in technology.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I'm definitely good with going ahead
Yeah.
for someone.
First thing we want to be sure is get this tax off there. That's $932.
Yeah.
Right, that'll
Yeah,
have to
that'll help.
That'll have to come off.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I think that's necessary, and I appreciate your foresight in looking where it can be multiple buildings.
Yeah, and they built that tax on there because this is a company that we've not dealt with, so we'll have to submit our tax information
I'm sure.
to them, our tax exempt status, and they'll take that off. That's not an issue.
Installation, do you have someone in-house that can do that, or will that?
Yeah, our IT guy, Aaron Kelly, he's the one that prepared this and went through it, so
And he's,
he's going to install, and I've spoke with our Sergeant Odell, which is, he's really good with IT stuff too, and he said he would assist in the installation, so
Wonderful.
installation costs will be minimal.
thank you. That's good.
I'm good with that too. I'll make a motion that we approve this with the insight. The total was $16,481.41 minus the tax, which is $932.91. Okay?
Okay, the motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. Thank you for preparing that, Sheriff. It's very good work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
On the, I'm sorry.
Bring it down to
would you like to discuss next?
15,548.
I asked you to start, so I won't interrupt.
The next thing, I guess we'll just move to the discussion on the deputies' COVID pay that was presented to the commission. You guys still have copies of all that information. I'd like the commission to visit that to compensate these deputies while they've been, under the stress and stuff of the COVID. The scope of that covers all that. What I give you before was not prepared to go through the end of the year, but it was just up to the date of that meeting. And I would ask it, that be looked to be approved, and then from there forward to the end of the year, once as reimbursements come in from the state and the government, then we'll look at that as those come in.
And you had that prepared from the emergency declaration on, right? It wasn't like July 1, it was.
That's correct. It was from
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Is what it was prepared from. When the pandemic went into effect. Too much documentation here.
The reimbursement.
Yeah.
You guys have a copy of that from?
I think I left mine in the house with me.
I didn't know he had presented anything, so we don't have anything.
Okay, I'll get you. I don't have that in front of me, Sheriff, to be honest with you.
Maybe later down was making copies in there. Off the oven. Certainly looks like. Clerk's office. Obviously, roll it down in there. I apologize.
I apologize, I didn't
I had a
bring mine
copy
back.
here too, but I know give you guys copies as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, we do got them.
yeah, we have them somewhere.
Mine's just in canvas, unfortunately. Very good, very good,
I
Sheriff.
did like that. Okay, yeah. Chief saves the day. So, what was figured out for March 24th, 29 weeks at the rate of $4 an hour was $4,640 each officer, and that would be back pay up to that date. And again, where I received that number is what other counties done, other municipalities have done and approved for their officers and the pay that's being reimbursed from the CARES Act. Also on that page, would you like me to make a copy of it so you guys can refer to this?
I can remember, it's up to you all.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would like.
Also on this, the reimbursement that was requested, I asked for a couple vehicles,
Yes.
and those being outfitted as well, and the document and the server was on that quote, or on that request, which you all have already visited and approved. So that's what I'd like to see happen now, is I'd like the commission to consider approving just what we've done up to date for us, looking at those numbers of that, up to that meeting. And then we'd look forward as money reimbursements come in throughout the rest of the year.
December 30th.
See where we're at, because it was kind of unknown. We expect to get reimbursed from here on out. That's what they've told us up until December 30th, but we've not received that yet, so we can't really assume that we're going to receive it, just count on it until we get it.
How much are the 2 cruisers total?
The 2 cruisers total was $28,577 a piece. Comes to $57,154. The outfitting of the 2, and this is the cheapest cruisers that we can purchase. I went with the cheapest thing, the
What are they?
Dodge Chargers.
Dodge Chargers.
The Dodge Chargers. And the only reason I went with the Chargers, not because I believe they're a better vehicle than a Ford. I think they're just as good a vehicle, but they're much cheaper.
Yes, sir.
Outfitting them come to for 2 of those cars was $8,468. So I don't have that total between the outfitting and the cars. I did not figure that total.
About 55,000.
Roughly.
Something like that.
What's the turnaround time on those right now? I'm sure it's.
They're on. They have them out to where they come down where they can order them, but they have not give a turnaround time. I wouldn't expect to receive them until after the first of the year.
If we order them now.
Right, because production's down. In those facilities, they've had cutbacks, things like that. So I don't have a projected date on the 2 that we've already ordered. I don't have a projected date on those yet. I do know, they're on
And
the
that was
order.
this budget year's.
Is it this
Really?
budget year?
Wow.
But of course, we got that. If you recall, we got that in a little late. But we still don't have a delivery date or anything like that. But they're in production. So whenever they get them produced, they'll be shipped here.
Sheriff, can I ask what
Yes.
grant fund that's coming from the vehicles?
The vehicles,
Is that the salary
The salary
reimbursement
reimbursement.
or the CARES?
these vehicles here,
Uh-huh,
they're requesting now.
right?
Yeah.
That would have to come out of the CARES money or somewhere
The
else. It wouldn't
reimbursement.
come out of the current grant we've already
Yeah.
received.
It's
Okay.
the multi-hundred.
Right.
Not the 100,000
It's
or
the
the 70,000.
$70,000 grant?
Right, not
Yeah,
the
that's already
70,000
dedicated out.
was the 70,000 COVID grant. It's not in that.
Oh, it's not? in-
No, it's not in that.
That's
under the
dedicated
salary
to
part.
stuff already.
Right.
They've already got approved everything.
That was
Purchase without.
dedicated and approved back in probably March.
Yeah.
And what about the equipment and the server?
Also
Equipment
the
server
CARES.
CARES? Okay.
So nothing's coming out of 100,000 right now.
Okay.
It's all reimbursed.
I refer to it as 100,000 governor salaries
Yeah.
and grants.
Yeah, and I've
Yes,
learned
it is
on
a
these
salary.
grants, when I
Makes it
get,
easier
when I'm
for
getting the
me.
bills in, I write on them.
Okay.
$70,000 COVID grant, $100,000 state COVID grant, because it gets confusing,
It is
trying to keep them
confusing.
separated if you don't do that.
Yes.
But we learned that rather quickly, but
And so this, I come up with $65,622 for 2 cars. That's with the 8,000 whatever and the 57,000 for the 2 cars. That sounds
that's
pretty
correct.
fair. And that's all taxes taken out and everything already.
That's correct.
I mean, I'm fine with that also. I mean, I think it's necessary. I mean, it's just 2. If it's 3 or more, I might have a concern. But considering the fund and everything else, I think that we're okay with 2 more cruisers.
Sure, that would,
So we'll afford
receiving a couple more
ones.
cruisers.
Yes.
That would get us up to, back to where we're at a feasible vehicle range of
New
years
vehicle.
of service.
Right.
Because now, as you know, our maintenance budget just keeps increasing, and it's with these older vehicles.
No doubt.
We get one that goes down, and then we're driving a Crown Vic. which-
Right.
Great cars, that's why we're still holding on to them,
Right.
but
I see them on the road a lot.
yeah,
lately, though.
they're reliable.
But their other cars are down, yeah. I mean, I'd be fine with the 2 cruisers today.
Yeah, I'm fine with getting cruisers.
make the motion. We do that.
At the total of 65, 622.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just make sure it's in the record. You have it, $65,622. Okay, the motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. And that leaves us with the office spaces.
Office spaces and the backpack.
And the backpack, yes, sir.
Yep. I'll give you a quick status on the office space. I've requested to meet now with three different contractors. Three different contractors has came in. I've still only received one actual bid. Just met with one day before yesterday with Alpha. They did a walkthrough on pending doing a quote on the specs. I know there's been some discussion about maybe having an architect come in and look at the building. I know that's been done in the past. I know Commissioner Neal's familiar with it. I don't remember the date, but I know we have that somewhere here in the courthouse on file. Oh, you actually have it.
I have the report, but I don't know if it has a date on it or not.
Well, regardless of date, I mean, my concern is we do have one, and so it's been done. I'd ask it, we probably don't need to move forward to having another one. If we would, it would take months upon months to get that completed and done if the architect would come in, which would really set a lot of things way back.
The plot date on these schematics is June 4th of 2008. Does that sound right? Okay. So.
And it's been a while since I've looked at those, but if I recall, they're very much in detail of what all the architect did when they looked at that building.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was concerned was I wanted to make sure that the building would hold the load in those areas. I wanted to cover ourselves there, okay? And that's why I was asking that we have someone look at this. And since, this is why with time things surfaced. I was unaware of this particular plan until yesterday, okay?
I didn't know it was in this.
And anyway, it's nice to see that's in place there, and there's a lot of data that's already been done. I don't think it's that much work for basically draw out what you want here with this and contact this person, and see if we can still work with them to do that. It was the company's from Princeton.
Yes.
Okay.
BTB.
I just feel that we need to make
thank
sure
you.
this is done correctly, okay, so that in the long run everybody's happy, okay?
Sure, I agree
I don't
with
want
that.
anything to come back on us and say, well, we should have done this, okay? And
Would it be acceptable for the sheriff to sit down and get a proper drawing out of exactly what he's looking for? Luckily, it's not too bad because, the middle spaces is just cubicles, right? We're not doing true walls, stuff like that. So really just, a breakdown of and everything else. And
We won't want, we wouldn't want separate officers for each officer because one,
right.
they need to communicate against, or to one another and things like that. Separate office space is nice at times, but we need quiet time to actually work on something.
Right. Sharing paper desks. and everything else.
you can find it even in a cubicle most of the time. So, and plus being able to keep stuff separated.
And, well, like you said, you needed a meeting room and everything else, that real big room
Sure.
with the step down.
Plus a secure place for
Secured
evidence.
entrance, evidence room.
Yeah, well, our evidence probably, there's really to put an evidence room, make it secure, would be quite pricey. And we probably have one of the most secure places for evidence right now, the old Next County Jail.
Yeah.
No one to my knowledge is broke out of that thing, so no one's going to break in it. I don't believe. It's over a foot. Yeah, it's over a foot thick walls. So we're all going to have to look at doing a few things in that old jail because the lighting's failing and things like that.
Yeah.
But it serves the purpose of storing the evidence just fine, I believe. So that'd be a cost that I think would be unnecessary in that new building down there. It's not that far to be able to pull in here with your evidence and secure it and log it in here before you actually go to your office desk. So I don't think that'll be too big an issue.
Would it be acceptable if, you know, the sheriff and I get down and do that, and once the sheriff and chief too, get down to what they want and everything else, the drawings and details and everything else, like, you know, handicap accessible area and all that, come back and make sure you two get time to review it. Once all three of us sign off, go ahead and start advertising. Does that sound acceptable? And then that way, let's see what kind of bids we get and then review those.
Well, I think the way we're doing it, we're apt to get several bids, okay?
Right.
And I actually talked with a contractor about some of this, and he said, without these things, as a general rule, they're gonna overcharge you to cover themselves, okay?
Okay.
Just in case these things come up, okay? But I think it probably will give us a very fair price for this.
Yeah, I mean, the sheriff has tried to get people to give quotes, and he's only got one. That's nothing to reflect on him, you know, it's just, that's all he's got, you know,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
So we do appreciate the sheriff's effort on that.
We're getting there.
We need a vote on that, once we all approve the schematics to bid
We
it out.
really don't have nothing to approve.
No,
Okay.
We have to
Just go ahead and
decide.
go ahead.
Is that acceptable? Go ahead and move forward with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end, whenever we get ready to do it.
So is that acceptable with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get together and get that knocked
Yeah,
out.
we can do that here. When's the next commission meeting scheduled?
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
So if we could even do that today or tomorrow,
Sure.
I'll get with you. I'll make time to get with you and do that.
I guess that's the only thing that leaves on the request was the pay. It was up today.
If we do go forward with this, you know, we got our things out to the governor. I would encourage my counterparts to definitely go like the sheriff's route. You know, a one-time payment would probably be best for clerical reasons and stuff of that manner. You know, have we
Yeah, I
received
think-
anything back yet from Charleston? I don't think we have.
No.
And that's why
Okay.
I requested or have asked the way I did. But I know Fayette County, they approved back pay and then $4 an hour going forward. But the issue I have with that is, I mean, the money's probably there, but however, we haven't received reimbursements from, I believe July through, well, of course, we're not even in December yet, so it goes through December 30th. So we really don't know what we're gonna get reimbursed there. I mean, I realize we probably already have the money, but I think for the later part, we need to look and see what we get reimbursed as a county on our salaries and you know, that stuff from the CARES Act. So I think that would be the way to go. The smartest way to go is do it up to, you know, up to date to the last meeting when that was requested. And then we'll look at moving forward once that money does come in for the remaining months that's been requested, which I know Sean, I haven't spoken with him in a few weeks, but Sean was working on those requests with the CARES Act fees, remaining months for 911 and the sheriff's office. And just to be clear, I think to the public, this money was reimbursed for the sheriff's department salaries through the CARES Act and the 911 salaries and some overtime as well. I think it's up in the air. I think they may have changed the scope of it just a little bit throughout the end of the year to where we might end up getting just a little bit more money for us on the 911 end of
Right.
it.
Yeah, they've been back and forth 3 times.
Yeah, right.
I thought they would give us.
Well, they were, now they're going back to more, now they can't make up their mind. So there you go.
But the sheriff department it hasn't changed any at all. It's been the same to my knowledge.
This money be run through the payroll rather than a bonus.
It's probably best.
Yes, I believe by state code,
Yeah.
like
And we can't do
Commissioner
bonuses
Bill's
as civil service,
right,
you're
it can't be,
right.
it can't be
Yes, sir.
run through as bonuses.
Yeah.
Just have to be hazard pay.
Yes, it'd
Hazard pay.
be under hazard pay would be
Hazard
how
pay
that's,
reimbursement.
how that's been put into
Right.
the wording on the CARES Act. It's hazard pay. If you looked at, probably, I think I handed all the documents on to Mr. Bischoff and you all on that, of what the scope of that actually says that we're allowed to use it on. hazard pay is one of them. Can't be used for supplement regular budgets, things like that. So it's
Right.
really earmarked in certain areas, and that's it. Do you disagree with that, Mr. Bischoff? Did you get a chance to review it any?
I've reviewed that document, but I don't have a position.
What are your all's thoughts on that?
I would like to see if we get a response from where we wrote off to those various government entities, okay? I feel that our next meeting will have been more than
Been a month.
adequate time to get a response on that. One way or another, either way, we've asked for a response from them, and I think we're covering ourselves there, that if they don't respond, we've still tried to get a response as far as how that should be covered. And I think the proper thing here is to put that on the next agenda. We will have had adequate time to receive responses. Yea or no, we'll have our little green cards back that we sent those things out certified, and we can go forward then, okay? And I want to say that this has been one of those things that has gone, the county commissions have had issues. There wasn't a lot of direct governance with this, and I know at some of the meetings a lot of these questions were asked, and the answers we were getting were, it depends, okay, on whether this is something that would be appropriate for spending the money. And I think it's still just one of those things that we've got to cover ourselves as a county commission and do those things. And it takes a little bit longer there, but still, it's appropriate and the right way to do those things. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but we still get there, okay, with the right coverage, okay? That's my thoughts.
I mean, it defines clearly in the CARES Act, it defines clearly that that's for hazard pay, clearly. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I don't believe there is either if you read it in the scope.
I've read it 10 times, it says hazard pay.
But I think, you know, I contacted her name slipping my mind. I know, did I send that information to you where I contacted you?
Jennifer Pearson.
Yeah, Jennifer Pearson.
Yes, yes, sir.
Did I send that information to you? Because she reached out to the governor's office and asked these questions. And did I?
Yeah.
And
Some
the response
right,
that
yeah.
I received back, I mean, and it's in email. I mean, it's straight from her, coordination from the governor's office. I mean, yeah, it gives you no direction. I mean, it really doesn't.
Fayette County used these funds when that back pay in the $4 an hour.
That's correct.
Yeah, they used from this one.
That's correct. And cruisers, I think they purchased 6 cruisers, I believe. I'm not sure what else. I know there's some other things too.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And like Commissioner Commissioner Atkins in a sense, you know, I do want to get our end of things covered too, but I mean, I really don't really have too much problem with this. I want to make sure the right things go to the right places. You know, our election workers, they work hard and everything else. And maybe that's a different reimbursement we need to ask of the governor. I mean, I'm not saying that needs to come out of this fund. But, I mean, there's a couple different, because the things that this election has cost this county, I mean, just in the last 2 weeks, has been ridiculous. But I mean, if you all want to wait for that thing, then that's fine. But if so, I want it to be 9/15 on December 2nd to make sure we readdress that.
First thing. That's fine.
So, unless you all have anything else, I think we'll wrap this one up too.
I think it's everything on
Okay.
the agenda. I believe.
We're getting
Yes,
there,
sir. Hey,
okay?
We appreciate it. glad to get some stuff rolling. And I'll get with you here, I'll call you at 10:45 at the end of the meeting.
I've got a meeting at 11,
Okay.
but
We'll go ahead and take a
it shouldn't
break.
last too long.
Okay. Thank you, sorry we,
No, get a hold of me anytime.
all right, thank you, Todd. Are you on?
I'm on.
Okay, we're here now at the request of yours truly again. Council for the commission consideration to renew employment. I'd like to recommend that we do go into executive session to discuss a few things.
I move to enter executive session pursuant to West Virginia Code 6-9A-3 and 4.
And I also might recommend with the consideration of keeping Mr. Chapman in the room with us as we discuss this. Can you add that to that?
Yeah, I will add that.
Okay. Okay, the motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Thank you. Everyone else can please exit the room. Okay, if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to come out of the executive session and note that we've made no decisions.
Okay, the motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Appreciated the moment there just so we could all discuss our intentions and everything else. I would like to recommend to this commission that we renew a contract with legal counsel Bischoff for 1 more year.
Okay. I'll second
I can't make a motion. You
it.
can.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
sorry.
make a
Yeah.
motion. Okay, that we continue the contract for another year.
Okay, the motion's on the floor.
Legal counsel.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry, and we appreciate your good dedication to the commission and the citizens of this county.
Thank you all three.
At this time, we'll need to take another break real
Yeah,
quick.
thank you for what you.
All right, we're here now with Cassandra Lawson, Senior Project Specialist with Region 4 Planning and Development Council concerning Richwood Broadband Project with a resolution number 12. Cassie, we're apologetic, we're running just a few moments late, but appreciate your patience. So.
Absolutely no problem. So as stated, this is resolution number 12 for the Richwood Hinkle Mountain Broadband Expansion Project. This resolution includes invoicing from Thompson & Litton, the consulting engineers. Total amount to be paid to them is $10,100. One invoice is only going to be a partial payment. We will come back to you next month with a budget amendment. There's plenty of money to pay for these expenses. But the not to get too convoluted, but the project's broken up into 2 grants, and so we're just kind of moving money as necessary to facilitate payments. So we're still much within budget, but we will come to you with a budget amendment to move some stuff around to keep things flowing. Also, Region 4 has invoicing for the months of September and October combined, totaling $1,638.17 for a total amount to be approved of $11,738.17.
Okay. I might request we approve those separately for the record, just for clerical, but that's all sounds good, and we appreciate your good work.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve those.
Yeah, the Region 4, $1,638.17, and the Resolution 12, $10,100.
Approve those resolutions.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and, go ahead, sorry.
On that subject, we had come to you previously. You had approved a pole attachment agreement, and you had actually signed a copy. But the formatting has been updated, so changed the page number. May I also ask for an updated signature?
Sure.
Would that be all right?
Go ahead.
Okay. That's it.
And just for the record, none of the substance has changed.
Yeah.
It's just simply a formatting issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So for the public, where are we at exactly with this now?
So the project is really great, gaining some traction. A request has been submitted to the State Historic Preservation Office. That's part of the environmental clearance procedures. So we're waiting to hear back on that. Updated signature today on the pole attachment agreement will then be forwarded to Mon Power for their signature, which will finalize that agreement, which is a pretty major milestone in moving forward. It will allow the consulting engineers to start working on permitting each individual pole. We've also submitted application to the United States Forest Service, which is a big part of the environmental clearances and permitting required. And then we hope within the next month or so to put out a request for proposals for the internet service provider that will actually be providing the services for the project. So we would like to see this project under construction maybe as soon as spring or early summer. That is subject to the pending approvals, but it is coming along really well. So, yep.
We appreciate your coming in. We're running late, but we had public comment period. We had no one sign up for public comment, so unless a commissioner has anything else they'd like to state or bring up at this time, I'd like to request a motion for adjournment.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to adjourn this meeting of the Nicholas County Commission on November 18th, 2020. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. Thank you.
Okay.